This is B.Maheswaran, Assistant Professor, Department of Environmental Science, Virudhunagar, Nadu College, Virudhunagar. In this video lecture, we are going to deal about xenobiotics and human immune system, right? Xenobiotics and human immune system. So xenobiotics, basically you all know that xenobiotics is a foreign chemical substances which may interact with the cellular immune system, which resultant in alteration of immune status of a human being, which may lead to a immunotoxicity effects in human system. Immunotoxicity, right? So immunotoxicity, which relevance immunostimulation, immunosuppression, autoimmunity, as well as hypersensitivity reactions. Here immunotoxicity which deals these overall functions, right? So justification of xenobiotic activity in immune system. Xenobiotic related health hazards. Actually, xenobiotics is a foreign substances. It may be plasticides or pesticides or recalcitrant compounds, right? So it affect or alter the overall immune system. So the immune cells like mast cells, basophils, WBC, so these cells are altered or misfunctioning because of these xenobiotic compounds. It also act as an antigen, right? So xenobiotic which act as an antigen, right? So it also proceed with autoimmunity or hypersensitivity deformation, right? So xenobiotics also spoil autoimmunity or hypersensitivity cascade reactions and also generate oxygen free radicals in the body, right? So xenobiotics which also modulate the hormonal imbalance by means of indirect ways. So indirect exerted modulation through hormonal imbalance. So here xenobiotics which modulates or deforming hormonal imbalance of the body. Indirect means the immune system or the overall immune system suppressed or stimulated through the xenobiotics. So these are the main effect from the xenobiotic compounds. So and, it also affect cell mediated immune responses, right? So cell mediated immune responses is a basic immunological reactions. So these xenobiotic compounds which made the effect on cell mediated immune responses as well as humoral immune responses, right? So you all know that. So humoral and cell mediated immune responses, these two reactions is mainly the chief reactions for all immunological reactions. So these humoral immune response as well as cell mediated immune response, so these reactions can stopped or deformed by means of xenobiotic compounds. And also finally it altered susceptibility to pathogens, right? So it also be the it is a it act as an antigen, right? So likely pathogen, right? So the susceptibility of pathogens it may be deferred or altered, right? So immunoglobulin E mediated hypersensitivity xenobiotics. So if you have if you people supposed to be allergen, your immune system overreact to an allergen, right? So by means of producing immunoglobulin antigen E, right? So antibody E, immunoglobulin antibody E. So these antibodies travels to the cell in the body that release some other chemical compounds which causing an allergic reactions, right? So here, so importantly note that these allergen which stimulate the production of immunoglobulin E, right? So these antibodies is overreacted to the mast cells to become a sensitized cell, right? So sensitized cell. So this immunoglobulin E, IgE is present on the mast cell surface, right? So to become a sensitized cells. So these sensitized cell can join with allergen and proceed with degranulation. So here all all the cell components were neutralized. So this process was called as degranulation. So here during the degranulation, some other chemical compounds were released, as I said. What are all the chemicals? Including histamine and other mediators, right? So histamine and some other immune responsive chemicals released during the degranulation process. So characteristics of xenobiotics. So most xenobiotics are lipophilic in nature. So lipophilic xenobiotics are generally lipophilic and are rendered more hydrophilic by dehydration process. Lipophilic xenobiotics are often first metabolized by phase 1 reactions. So it also penetrates membranes by diffusion mechanisms, right? So diffusion mechanisms is normally occurs in all biological membranes, right? So xenobiotics, it can easily enters into the body by means of hydrophobicity, right? So hydrophobicity, it having a property called hydrophobicity. Through the diffusion process, xenobiotic compounds penetrate into the cell membranes and also transported by lipoproteins in blood. So xenobiotic compounds also easily transported to the human body by lipoproteins in blood streams, through blood streams, and also it requires chemical conversion to perform excretion process, right? So once the xenobiotic compounds entered into the body, it should be eliminated through the excretion process, right? So these are all the characteristics of xenobiotics, and also some other here I list out some categories of metabolizer of xenobiotics, right? So depending on their metabolic activity, there are more or less xenobiotic metabolism differs. There are three major categories are listed out, which are all follows: extensive metabolizer, Boer metabolizer, very Boer metabolizer. So extensive metabolizer. So here normal enzyme activity which occurs within the cell, right? So in case of Boer metabolizer, here there are less amount of, or there is no amount of enzymes produced, right? Whereas very Boer metabolizer, here decreased amount of metabolism occurs. So decreased or slowly metabolism occurs slowly to degrade or metabolize xenobiotics. So here it's a ridiculous one. So because it need medications or therapies to the human beings, right? Okay, thank you.